Welcome, one and all, to The Late Show. I'm your host, Stephen Colbert. You know, we have passed certain milestones on Trump's highway to American greatness. Sometimes you just have to pull the car over, get a breath of fresh air, maybe puke in the grass. Today is one such day, because the President of the United States has ordered the people investigating him to investigate their investigation of him. Yesterday, Donald Trump summoned Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein and FBI Director Christopher Wray to the White House to pressure them to turn over to Congress information about the origins of the FBI investigation into his own campaign. To catch the criminal, he must become the criminal. Oh, so he's the criminal? Well, we're done here. Now, some people are calling this a constitutional crisis, but I don't know about that. A constitutional crisis technically requires that one branch of the government push back against another branch of the government. Everybody here is pushing in the same direction, and it's down with a pillow over the Constitution's face going, shh, shh, it'll be over soon. Well, it's gotten so bad, the opening words have gone from "we the people" to "help, I forgot the safe word." So how did we get here? Come with me now, back to May of 2016. It was a happier time, though we should have seen a warning that the two biggest movies were Civil War and Apocalypse. The FBI were yet to launch an investigation of the Trump's campaign ties to Russia. Enter Trump campaign aide and daughter's boyfriend giving you a fist bump, George Papadopoulos, who got drunk in May of 2016 and told an Australian diplomat the Russians had dirt on Hillary Clinton. That's the new most interesting man in the world. I don't always drink beer, but when I do, I brag to strangers about treason. Stay guilty, my friends. Now, the FBI doesn't want to risk it getting out at this time that they were investigating a presidential campaign. So to keep everything on the DL, they got an American working at a British university to get close to Papadopoulos and find out what he knew under the pretense of offering him $3,000 to write a research paper. I believe that paper was "How I Colluded on My Summer Vacation." Rumor of this informant spread in Washington just this last week, which led Donald Trump to tweet, "Reports are there was indeed at least one FBI representative implanted for political purposes into my campaign for president. It took place very early on, long before the phony Russia hoax became a hot fake news story. If true, all-time biggest political scandal. That's right, I did it, folks. I broke the scandal record. Take that, Nixon. Who's got the tricky dick now?"
Moving on.
And Donald Trump doubled down just this afternoon.
A lot of people are saying they had spies in my campaign. If they had spies in my campaign, that would be a disgrace to this country. That would be one of the biggest insults that anyone's ever seen, and it would be very illegal. Aside from everything else, it would make probably every political event ever look like small potatoes.
Maybe. If you didn't collude. If you did collude, well, that's a pretty big potato. So, Trump summons Rosenstein and Wray to the White House and says, "You got nothing. Can I see what you got?" And here's the thing. They're gonna do it. They're going to show the evidence to congressional Republicans and no Democrats. But it's not political. It's all perfectly innocent, according to Trump lawyer and man seeing the evidence against Donald Trump, Rudy Giuliani. Rudy says that Trump, the target of the investigation, didn't call the meeting. He called the meeting in his official capacity as president. Yes, Donald Trump is kind of wearing two hats in this investigation. One as president, The other is criminal. And I believe we have footage of those two hats.